Greetings, human. So, have you ever had a topic so niche that you knew nobody else would want to talk about it? Have you ever had a topic so narrow that you're probably one of the few people on this planet that's ever thought about it? Well, yes, very perceptive viewer. I am doing that thing at the beginning of YouTube videos where I ask questions that really just tell you exactly why I made this video. You are so smart. For me growing up, I'd say financial instability has been my biggest fear ever since I would say around the age of 8. And I don't have a sob story on some like, oh, I grew up in a very terrible place in town. Both of my parents were extremely poor and all of it. I'm going to be honest, I have no clue why I have such a huge fear of being financially unstable, but it's just always been within me since a very young age. One of those driving factors, oh gosh, I'm actually remembering stories that I wish I had forgotten. One of those driving factors was that I was a very shy person. Well, I guess I still am. A very shy person growing up, so I never usually liked to ask my parents for video games. So what I do was that, obviously, when new video games would come up, I'm like, 8, 9, 12 or whatever? I don't have $60 to buy these games, but I'm also not asking my parents to purchase them for me because I'm too scared to ask. But trust and believe, when there was a game I wanted, I was scarfing up those $60 some way, somehow, buddy. I remember this very distinctive moment in my childhood. I must have been no older than 12. And there was this game that I saw at GameStop just randomly. It wasn't new, it was used. And it was a game called Naruto Rise of Ninja, I believe, on the Xbox 360. Now, at this point in life, again, I'm no older than 12. The most I had saved up on money was $70-something. Let's say $74. This used Naruto game from, let's say, 2008, 2009. And this must have been 2013, 2012, somewhere around there. Purchased it. It was around about $40. I will never forget the look of confusion on my face after making what my 12-year-old self had dubbed like $1 million. I'd saved up $74. I bought this $40-something game, and I was left with a 20 and a 10. I was like, bitch, did these niggas just rip me off? Where's the rest of my dinero? I'm like, from that day forth, I literally made a system on how to purchase games. And I did this thing where I would not purchase a game unless I had double the money of what was needed to purchase it. And this was only if the game was below $60, or was below $50. So if a game was $30, I would have to get $60 to pay for the game. If the game was $40, I had to have $80 to pay for the game. If the game was $50 and above, I would just do a bit of like interest or whatever. The system was very well thought out for a 12-year-old, at least I believe. But it was just because that Naruto Rise of Ninja, that shit hurted my heart, my guy. I will never forget the pain of saving up $70 and being left with $30. But you want to know what else released when I was 12, man? I turned 12 in September of 2013. You want to know what released a few weeks later and who was in the GameStop premiere line when it dropped? Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, if you were around when GTA 5 first released, you know that GTA Online was this new innovative thing that everybody was just looking at. It was like, yo, this is about to be like, this is the future of gaming right here, dude. We get on that GTA Online, son. When I tell you that economy was I'm like, girl, it was fine, bro. Like it was not right. I'm exaggerating here, but yo, legitimately, I swear on my life, to get a freaking virtual water bottle in GTA, why'd I say it like that? To get a virtual water bottle in GTA 5 online, it was practically $150, son. In online bucks. And what's crazy, they was selling shark cards because they knew their economy was screwed. Nigga, bro, I'll never forget. I played GTA Online for practically a month. And I racked up around like $1,600. I went to one shot. One shot. I purchased one gun. When I tell you I was left with only about $100 in my bank account, which in GTA Online terms, that's practically cents. GTA Online, $150 is practically $1.50. I'm not even lying to you in real life dollars. It ain't make no sense, bruh. It's like, why am I putting in so much work, money, so much work, sweat, blood, and tears, and I'm not getting anything back in return? I can't even splurge out. I can't even go on a shopping spree. Like, bro, I'm barely getting paid out for these jobs. And to say that the Naruto experience in the GTA 5 online experience did not have a lasting experience on my life, I would literally have to be lying bold-faced to your face right now. Because those joints, I think about them all the time because it's actually changed the way I move with money in real life. So around 3 years ago, I'm talking about real life now. We're not talking about video games. So 3 years ago in real life, I came into some financial stability. I came into some money. I'm not about to say how. It doesn't matter how. You know what? Actually, I'll tell you. Because honestly, I think you guys have probably already guessed it by now. I, in fact, was a drug dealer. No, I'm just playing. I sold people, not drugs. But at the time, I was also a teenager. Yeah, hold on. I please understand that was not being serious. Imagine I just... Oh my God. Anyways, what I was saying was I was a teenager at the time, and I'll be honest, I did not make the best financial decisions. Looking back on it, like my upbringing, it's kind of crazy that I didn't find out ways to be more, smart with my money, considering how much I cared about that when I was younger. I just saw the dividends, and I was all like, money, 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 money. Then I saw my bank statements a few years later. I was like, oh, yeah, let's go back to that system we had when we was 12, yo. And fast forward today, do I regret what I did a few years ago? No, not really. I think it was a learning experience. It's not like I'm in debt or anything or at risk of, I don't know, whatever bankruptcy or whatever financial things are bad. But one thing I definitely do wish I had of done when I first started getting paid out would have been investing. That's something I've actually started doing recently, and finding more ways to make passive incomes and making sure that my money works for me. Essentially, what I was doing when I was a teenager was I was indulging in a lot of liabilities, and I was not establishing any assets. So I was buying things that was taking money away from me instead of establishing assets, which would have been me putting money into stuff that would then bring me money back. Essentially, I have $10 right now. How do I make that $10 into $100? How do I make that 100 into 1,000? How do I turn this 1,000 into 10,000, into 100,000? Whereas that's my mindset now. Whereas when I was a teenager, I received that $10. I was all like, where's the nearest 5 and below? Am I right, guys? And with my starting investing endeavors, it really doesn't even stop there with the way that I'm still trying to learn about how money works and how the world works. Because I almost did a very, very stupid thing. As happy as I am that I started investing, I almost proceeded to make a very terrible mistake in the way that I was investing my money. And it was, I have a specific goal in mind of how I want to have my stocks work for me. And the goal that I have in mind was, I had this one individual, hold on. I'm struggling because I'm trying to be safe in the words that I'm using right now. Essentially, there was one option where I could pay out $133,000 to get to my goal versus only paying $75,000 and still getting my goal. Guess which route I accidentally took? Girl! I am so glad that I took a step back and reevaluate. Okay, let me learn about how these dividends, how these percentages work, so I don't end up doing the wrong thing. And thank God, because I was almost gonna, I don't even know how much people spend on like, is 133,000 like a mortgage? Is that freaking, bro? I don't even know, man. But imagine that I would have been paying $133,000 to get to the same goal versus just paying $75,000. Well, this is kind of awkward. I'll be honest. This whole entire video stemmed on the fact that I just sat down and did the math just now, and I was astonished about the huge financial misstep I was about to undertake in my life, and I'm glad I caught it very early. And that was the whole premise of this video, and I don't know how to end it. Yo, if there are any parents out there, please, I implore you to force your kids to play Grand Theft Auto 5 online so they can be traumatized by the horrible state of world currency. And maybe, just maybe, that scarring can be the beginning of financial literacy in their life, like myself. Anyways, it's been Evie, Justice, and I'll see you lot later. Peace.